Hello.
Hello.
Hello and welcome, Midlifers. We are your hosts, Fons.
Miz.
And this is your bonus episode where we get to talk to incredible New Zealand author Elisabeth Easther.
It is going to be a great chat. Elisabeth is here to talk about her book Seed, which has actually come from a stage play that she also wrote, which came from a novel she wrote. So we're going to get into it with her. We're going to have a lot of laughs, a lot of good stories, actually.
And we're going to build a bridge across the ditch with Australia and New Zealand.
So let's jump into it.
Yeehaw!
Wax on, wax off.
Cigarettes.
Excellent.
So the play came out 2014.
Yes.
What was it like writing the play compared to writing the book?
Well, the main drafts of both of them happened in a red hot rush, like it was like, there was a lot going on. I think writing has to come from a place. You can't just sit yourself down and say, I'm going to write a bestseller today, because it's got to have more drive than that. I was interviewing someone the other day, and they were talking about the machine that creates. There needs to be tension. The machine requires tension for creativity to happen. And while I don't want to spend my life in a state of abject depression in order to make art, there was some feelings inside me that were the basis of the book. And also a lot of things were happening in that, because it's all about making babies. And I was doing some of that fertility stuff. And because I didn't want to bore everybody I knew with every single step of the way, by writing it all down, I felt like I was stopping it whirling in my head. So I started as a novel, and then I decided that it would make a good play because I could really hear the characters. And so I had these four main characters, and they did a lot of address to audience that were almost as if they were doing an audio book. And so the play was quite an unusual, unorthodox shape, because it was a novel on the stage. But then it did really well. And so that made me go, the story was tested, and then it, went around the place, and it was shopped, and people were, we like it, or COVID happened and things slowed down. But then there was a change in the guard at Penguin, and the new lady, I'd met her at a party and I really liked her. She was really open. She was just, rah, rah, rah. And so I asked my agent when she was in charge, I said, now that Claire's in charge, would you? And she was like, Claire loves it.
Ta-da.
And then it was another long slog for the next bit, which was a very long birth.
But worth it in the end.
Tears and tears. All of it.
So I didn't realise it started out as a novel turned play.
Well, I was just I think I was just sitting down to write, and then the play felt like something I knew how to do. As an actor, I could put on a play. In fact, as an actor, you don't even need an audience. You can just do a solo show at home. And yeah. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing a play at the moment. Yes, it's a long run. 5 years, longer than the Mousetrap.
So did you actually play one of the characters in the play?
No, isn't that funny? You think I'd have given myself a part, but I decided.
If you did, which character would you play?
Who's got the least lines? Maybe Virginia. Virginia is a
thinking
special.
that.
She's a naughty one. So I guess Virginia. Yes.
With this, so the characters are based off, women in your life and stories with fertility. What I loved about the story is that it's a bit messy. There's sort of loose ends, and even with one of the couples, there was a sort of betrayal of trust there, and it could have gone any which way. How did you sort of navigate these the messiness of it all? Was it your intention just to leave it messy because that's the way life is?
There have been so many iterations. Once it started to get from the stage to the novel, the two drafts that Claire, the marvellous Penguin woman, had her stamp on, one of the drafts I handed her, and she was like, it's just too sad. It's too sad. It's how you can't end everyone in this sort of state. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then I felt that there did need to be more hope. I think some of the versions, there was more like how it would happen in real life. The man who recorded the audiobook, he didn't say a lot about the actual content of the book. He just pressed his buttons, and we had little natters in between, but not about the book. And then the only thing he said about it was, and this is to do with the betrayal, I'd have left her. That was it. The whole, 6 sessions of 3-4 hours each. Thank you, Glenn. for your input.
I read that it was a 15-year labour of love with Seed now we've learnt from novel to stage to novel. For our budding writers, like what helps you persist with writing it for all those years?
I mean, there are so many times in life where you think that actually just give up. But one thing I always say to myself and to anyone who will listen is there's one thing you can guarantee. And if you give up, it won't happen. That's the one thing you can be sure of. But if you keep trying, and quite often the thing that you're trying for, something else happens while you're on the way there. So staying active and being and not and physically as well, actually, when life is hard and creativity, being in the creative industries is a really, there's a lot of rejection as an actor. I haven't obviously had such a stellar career. So, but I still go to auditions and I probably get about 1% of them. But it's just that thing of going, if I give up, it won't happen. And all the things that you do and see and all the bits along your road are important. And it doesn't have to be that it's a successful bits. And we learn as much from the difficult times. And while it's horrible having one's character built, I don't think any of us would be quite as agreeable if we hadn't had a little bit of rough with the smooth. That would be insufferable.
Yeah, that'd be boring as well.
Oh my gosh, yes, because what would joy be without the occasional
Yes.
pain?
Yes, but you're
Or
right. But
sunshine without rain.
it's those in between bits. Yes, we are building a character, and when you're in the middle of it, it's like, oh fuck, I just want this to be over.
Oh, stop it. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Make it go away. And
Yes.
well, it will. It will go away of its own accord, but you just have to sit with it.
Yeah,
And then
yes.
get up, dust yourself off. I find also revenge is a very powerful motivator. And so people who have actively been unkind or uncharitable, and believe me, there are some of them. I love knowing that some of those people will be looking at this now and going, bitch. I'll be like, yeah, that's me.
So do you believe in karma?
No.
Oh, because karma is never instantaneous. Karma
Oh,
comes
is that how it
eventually.
works?
Yeah, that's what I've learned. Except, what the best karma is? When you're driving and you see someone cutting off another car and then they get it cut off straight away.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do love that. Yeah. And it's like when you're in that merging like a zip too and someone's trying to get in but that's not karma so much. That's just like driving. Karma. I get it.
Karma.
But it is lovely when people get their comeuppance. But then again too, I think we just need to do good and kind things to be good and kind. Like I mean, for all of my big talk of revengefulness, I do try most of the time to be just decent for the sheer hell of it.
Yes, yeah. Because the world's got enough a-holes in it. As I tell my kids, I go, the world is full of a-holes, and I'm going to raise you to bring love out to the world because we've already got enough bad stuff,
Yeah.
More
love.
More love, more kindness, more generosity. I often think if we just had a reset day where everybody, every second of the day, they did the thing that they knew was right. And then maybe that would just be...
Start the world again.
Yeah. Like turn it on and off.
Yes, absolutely.
Control-Alt-Delete. That's what it is.
Control-Z. I didn't
escape.
Delete.
I want a new one.
Now, do you know what? I love traveling, and I find that when you write on an airport card, when you travel overseas, what your occupation is. Now, we know you wear many hats, Elisabeth. You're a travel writer, you're a journalist, a TV host, an actor, and now an author. If you were to travel overseas now, what would you put down as your occupation?
For years and years, like the last maybe 20 almost. Gosh, I've been putting writer as just a fallback for everything because of all the other writing stuff. But yeah, I for a long time I thought about the first time I put actor, I was like, oh gosh, what even is that? For a while, when people would say, "What are you?" especially if you weren't working as an actor, I'd say storyteller, which sounds a bit wanky. But I guess that sort of encapsulates a lot of things. But yes, I always put writer. Yeah, but it does. It's quite an exciting
content creator.
Content creator. Most of the time.
It's all perception.
I just wanted to get onto the environmental stuff because 2 questions with this. In Seed, the book, there's a lot of sort of mentions about the environment and about waste, and 2 of the main characters work in that field. And I know this is very close to your heart. Was it such a big thing in the play as it was in the novel?
No, that definitely grew in the novel. And while I mean, there was still somebody who did the job of the going through the waste audits because my friend Sunshine does that. And I remember when I first met her and I was like, "Tell me more." So you tip out all the wheelie bins and then you log everything. And she was like, "Yes." And she's this beautiful kind of looks like a French film star. It was just like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna be my new friend."
So it wasn't as much so something more introduced into the book. Does that sort of coincide with sort of your
My journey.
yeah, and like in your personal life, thinking more, being more environmentally focused? Does that sort of coincide with that? Or
Absolutely. Well, the ocean stuff and a lot of the island stuff. So after I made the documentary series Islands of the Gulf, I ended up going to a lot more planting bees, and then I discovered what all the weeds were, and then I go to weeding bees, and and I also ended up working in marine conservation because islands obviously have lots of ocean around them, and I started writing for the Department of Conservation occasionally, and I learned so much more. I mean, just every single job has opened up and closed lots of jobs. So there's just the marine stuff definitely has become a fixation. And my son is very keen on fishing, and sometimes he'll say, "Mum, I caught you a fish," and I was like, "Could you just leave my one in the ocean?" And then he gets a little bit upset because I'm sort of, so I have to go. I would
What's your
never.
favourite sea animal?
Oh, goodness me. Well, I'm very friendly with a whole lot of snapper. They're my sort of fan club, and they follow me everywhere because I snorkel with a hammer and I hit sea urchins. And so I feel like there's a bit of a relationship being built. But I love rays, manta rays, eagle rays, stingrays. I love watching them do their beautiful just
They're very elegant.
gliding. Yeah, but I find that all of this. Oh, sea cucumbers are a bit average,
Oh,
but mostly all of them. I mean, they're just so interesting. The sea is such an underexplored area. And so I really
yes.
like being in it. And every now and then I think I'll get eaten by a shark and the headline will say, "Died doing what she loved." That's my friend who edits Woman's Day here, that's our kind of like, oh, that's always such an awful thing. It's like, yes, being munched by a shark. He promised to have that in my end of life story, should it be shark related.
I was
I
gonna
shouldn't
say
joke about
you
these
can
things. Oh my God.
you can change the name of seed to seed, SEAD. We're done.
Oh, goodbye. Yeah, our work is done.
You two are the perfect fun partners, I tell you what.
I love it.
Now, if I can ask in about seed, because we're an Australian podcast and you're a New Zealand writer, and we really want to bridge the gap.
Oh,
with
lovely. Yes,
across the
hands
ditch.
across the ocean.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, I've noticed there were a lot of native New Zealand or Maori words used in the book. Can you help us with translating some of these words for our
Absolutely.
Aussie listeners? So, is it whānau?
Whānau.
Whānau.
That's family.
Ah.
Ah.
There's another now, please excuse my pronunciation. Is it whenua?
Oh, whenua is both the word for land and placenta.
Oh.
So it's a really lovely concept of
Yeah.
people will sometimes say, "I just want to go and put my hands in the whenua," and then meaning the earth. And also it is the afterbirth.
Isn't that fun? Because, I've heard the afterbirth is like a tree in some way. I can't remember how, but I remember seeing it. Like the roots of the afterbirth is like similar to a tree. Whenua.
Yeah, no, I've heard that as well. Like we should actually I can't remember what I think I buried it under a grapefruit tree, but I didn't really investigate it a great deal.
I
Went
didn't
from
even look
either,
at it. Oh.
but I did know to defrost it before you put the tree on top of it. Somebody told me that because otherwise you
Ah, we might hurt the roots.
yeah,
The frostiness.
living and learning.
Elizabeth, what's a chili bin?
An esky.
An esky.
Oh,
Yeah.
like chili, like
Like
Yeah.
a chili bin.
I was
Got
thinking
a bit of chilies.
A hot bin.
yeah, like a spice. Chili bin, I like
Chili
that.
bin.
Yes.
Yeah,
And puku, is puku one of the words you've got in there? 'Cause I think puku is in there.
Puku. What is puku?
Your tummy.
Ah.
And when you're a little kid, it's like, "Oh, how did my puku sore?"
Oh my
Mm.
gosh, that is the
That's a
sweetest.
tummy
Puku.
word.
Oh, I like that.
And so if I can ask, do you use these words? Are they quite common? Because I've only been to New Zealand as a tourist. Are they quite common to use in everyday language?
Yes, they are. I mean, there is, there are people in the country who are like, "Oh, we don't want that language here," and it's like, go
Oh,
somewhere else. But as a rule, most people are really embracing of te reo Māori. Street signs actually really helpful because you can keep growing your vocabulary of kupu, which is words. And I think a lot of people also want to learn more of the language in order to show their their dedication to a more embracing society that says, yes, we are manuhiri. We're, you were here first, and we're delighted to be here. Thank you, and let's be all because the polarization of society at the moment actually really upsets me. So by embracing tikanga and Māori culture, I feel is really important.
that's great. That's fantastic. Because I always feel like language is the key to unlocking learning, really, for me. And, to embrace the native, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, the native or the indigenous language. Because I think for me, the most sad thing to happen is when a language goes extinct.
Mm.
And it's
It's an act of violence to a people to think that you can, take away the language. And we all know that in many colonizing societies that people were banned from speaking the language of their mothers and fathers. And that's a terrible.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really is. And so I think a lot of that the Māori Language Commission has been doing a lot of amazing work to ensure that the growth of language is, there's a steady growth of people knowing and understanding and caring.
Now, speaking of New Zealand, I love this little fact about you. When you're in Shortland Street playing the villainous Carla, and was it the first murder that was shown in a
Yeah, I was the
TV
first murderer on on our soap opera. I mean, obviously other murders had happened in TV shows and things, but I was Shortland Street's first murderer.
And
And,
this episode was watched by a quarter of the population.
oh yeah, it was very popular in its day. I mean, it still is. It's still
Yes,
going. And
I
it's
think
31
it's
years old now as which is our longest running television show.
I think the episode's still one of the highest ratings. Like,
I
how
know. I got told that
amazing is
once when I was
that?
doing a sort of a 25 years after the fact story. And the publicist shared that with me, and I was like, crikey, wow. It was on at 7 o'clock when people used to watch television at the time it was on. And if you rang someone at 7 o'clock, they would tell you they either wouldn't answer or they'd say, go away, I'm watching Shortland Street. That was pretty much
Yeah.
everybody.
So is that, I don't know if you know the Aussie show Neighbours, is that sort of like the
Yes,
Neighbours
exactly.
from Neighbours?
Neighbours vibe, home and away vibe, but in a hospital, so maybe young doctors vibe. Oh, I
Yeah.
love young doctors.
Do
Oh.
people still recognise you from that role?
Yes, they do, and a lot of the time it is that, "Where do I know you from?" And also because they will have some sort of overhang of bad guy, I I'd spent a lot of my life actually kind of trying to undo undo that. "Hi!"
Yeah. Now you should
I
lean
mean, not to
into it
say
more.
that I'm not nice, but, trying to undo what people have decided of you, and I do wonder sometimes if that didn't, not how I mean, Shortland Street has opened as many doors as it closed. Like I went for when my son was very little, we went for a nappy commercial, which I got, and then I went to the costume fitting, and one of the producers said, "We can't have her playing the mother." And Theo got the job as well. We were gonna be a mother and son, like, we were gonna our first job together. He's got money too.
Goodness.
So that was a bit of a bummer. But then the book is out here now, and that is making a lot of there's a lot of publicity because the women's mags and someone having a book out isn't actually that interesting for people making stories. It's like, what's the angle? What's the author going to tell us? We need something of it's not just like has a book out. That is not a story. I am just interesting to certain sectors of media. Like there's a television show coming to the launch. There's a makeup person coming at 7:30 on the day of the launch. And you can see it's gonna be actually quite helpful because I don't know. But, that sort of thing, and that wouldn't happen. And then one of the other big publishers in New Zealand wrote to me the other day, and she goes, "Oh, you're hosting a publicity, it's amazing." And I was like, "Yeah, Penguin, they're great. They really are great." Here and, like, both sides. Amazing, champion people.
Yeah, because we interviewed as well Rachel Johns, who's under Penguin as well, and
She's
go
amazing.
Penguin.
Yeah. Not only great writers, great people.
Penguins are great people. Yes, they are. And that's also another thing that, you write a book and people might be going, "Well, I've heard of it." But to be able to say that Penguin Random House is publishing your book and
That's
that is
huge.
yeah, It is not just like, oh, so you do publish it yourself. No disrespect to that as well, because I totally think, actually, word to any writers out there, if you're really burning to have your book published and it's not breaking through, why not? But my advice to you is the amount of help the amount that it was made better by all the other people that came on board. So if you can afford it, get somebody to give you some notes, because the book that I was handing out, or that my agent was shopping around, it wasn't as good. It could be an embarrassment. The people that did all the clever stuff made it so, I shouldn't just have my name on the front. It is such an extraordinary, like maybe I'll one day read one of the early drafts and go, "Ooh, someone had a misplaced confidence."
That's a story of our lives.
How we get so far.
If I may bring up that you were in Power Rangers Jungle Fury in 2008.
Yes.
You played Jellica, the
Yes,
Sea
but only the
Overlord.
voice.
Hang on. The Sea Overlord.
Yeah.
The Sea Overlord. Like, you love the ocean.
Oh my gosh, I hadn't even thought of that before.
Yeah.
Like it put wheels in motion.
Exactly.
It's all come together.
Things in motion. Wow. Oh my gosh. I don't think she was very good. She sounded kind of like this insane sort of, you turn up at those things and you do, I don't know, 4 voice sessions, and they also do all these fighting noises. So they can only do you for 2 hours at a time. And then you actually really munt your voice. That munt is a New Zealand word, by the way. You can kind of tell what it means, right? Something's munted.
You feel it.
Yeah, it's like it's bad. You ruin it. Like to
Yeah.
get munted is to get really wasted. So so I decided with a lot of those games and things, whenever I do play a voice in those things, or Power Ranger sorts of things, I say I'm just not going to make noises that are going to ruin my voice. If I was a violinist, would you ask me to put my violin in the fire? No. And so why would I break my voice? So Power Rangers was notable for me in that I went, I'll never do that again, because my voice is more precious than the money that you're paying me this one time.
So when you say the voice, like the sounds, like the
Yeah. Like every time there's a weapon used, you have to make all these different noises, and not just once, like lots of times, so that the editing can be put in with the movements, because then another person did the acting part, because it was a full face covered job.
Yeah. Now, I'm gathering that the Werther's commercial would have been quite different as a voiceover.
Oh, the
artist.
Whitakers,
Whitakers, that's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that was amazing as well. I remember I started that when it was a one-off, and I took my son, and he was little, because, usually you could just go along, blah, 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 off you go. And it was 2 hours, and he was probably not quite 2. And he stood I can see him still now, a little on a stool looking through the glass at me. And as long as he could see me, he was all good. And it went the session for ages. And then I had that job for maybe 15 years of great voiceover, regular, unplanned. Like, you couldn't go, oh, this, I'll be buying this because I'll be getting that.
Yeah.
But all of those sorts of well-paid jobs that were short, like you went in for a short time, meant that you can actually write a novel. But if you've already made $600 that week, you don't have to be so quite hustly to do other stuff. So I'm very, very grateful to the ads. And there was also, you guys, I think, had the Coles family, and we called that Supermarket Countdown. And so I played the mum on that as well, and again got well paid for doing very little. And so writing books and plays and things was doable. I don't think I'd have had the ability to do that if I hadn't had those sorts of funny jobs.
When you go to do the voiceover, like, is it different types of tones of voices for different styles of ads?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like, there's warm Kiwi, and there's educated, you trust me, I'm a bank. There's cars, there's airlines, there's all sorts of different ways of, yeah, absolutely. And I don't really do much preparation. I'm a good sight reader, because I've been reading audiobooks for years and years and years. So I just get there and go, blah, 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 blah. And you can kind of tell what they want. Sometimes they get you to do it like 100 times, but they go with the first one. But that's fine. They're paying you for an hour. They can have an hour.
Yeah,
But if they go over, they
absolutely.
pay you for another hour. It's like a good time.
Why not? I think we're ready to keep building this bridge across the ditch, joining Aussie and New Zealander. Let's go. I tell you, Australia is very guilty of claiming New Zealanders.
Mhm. The successful
Crowded house.
Crowded house. Yes, that was on the top of ours. The Finn brothers.
Pavlova.
Yes.
Twin brothers. Yep.
Yep. What about Russell
Yeah.
Crowe?
Russell Crowe. Yes, he is a Kiwi, isn't he? He was born here, and then was that the
And-
way around, or was he born there? Well,
I
that
think
not
that's born there. Yeah.
Married at First Sight. He was brought up here. That John
Who was that,
Aitken.
Mummy Joy?
John Aitken, the psychologist from Married at First Sight.
Huh?
The counsellor.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Was
didn't know that.
educated
Oh, you can have him.
Well.
New Zealand can have him.
Oh.
If it's like a tennis match, who do we want?
Yeah, true. Okay, who do you want? Who do you want? What about that nice Lord? She seems nice.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's cool. But
She's
I
got
think
that,
she's
see?
She's New Zealand, though.
yeah, like as
We haven't
Yeah,
claimed
but
her
you can.
yet.
I mean, if you want to
Into-
claim someone, I mean, you could pretend and go look at all our fancy Australians. Who
Yeah. But that's what's happened in history in Australia, and it's kind of we kind of are aware of it, that we do claim New Zealanders. And I'm sorry. I would like to apologise to New
Australia.
Zealand on behalf of Australia. I will take the stand, because even Jane Campion,
Oh yeah, she's totally a Kiwi.
yeah, but I don't know why growing up, like, just thought she was Aussie.
Oh, I knew she was New Zealand.
Oh,
New Zealand.
Was it the piano? Was it the piano?
the
Was
piano.
interesting.
Rebecca-
Okay.
Rebecca Gibney. Because
Total Kiwi.
I've always just seen her in shows growing up. I just assumed.
Eric Thompson, the
Oh,
Back to the Rafters guy, Kiwi.
yes.
Shetland Islander, I believe.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I always thought Aussie. What about Richard Wilkins? Oh, he's now Richard. Now I'm gonna.
do you know Richard Wilkins?
He was born in New Zealand, and now an Australian. He's a legend on TV now. As he started out as the first host of MTV in Australia,
Oh,
and he's
okay.
now working on the morning shows as an entertainment
Oh,
journalist.
yeah, we don't get that.
Ah,
So he's one that like
He's like a
You can
huge,
have, you
big
can have.
anchor fan of television face person.
mm,
And is he
mm.
nice?
he. You know what? Nostalgically now, I've grown to love him. Growing up, he's just there for the
Just there,
months.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh no, he has been a pioneer in Australian TV.
Yeah, he's always been around.
He's been around. He's still around.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Still
going
going.
to look him up after this. I'm going to go.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a story for you. Melbourne, where we live, is very much a coffee capital of the world, we like to think. But I read that there was a New Zealander, Fraser McInnes, invented the flat white after he failed at making a cappuccino. He passed it to the customer, goes, oh, well, it's a flat white now.
Oh my God, the funniest thing is Fraser's sister, Rowena, texted me just now and said, from Barbara Dager in Wellington. Yeah, because that whole coffee culture in Wellington and Melbourne are quite similar, whereas you could sort of, I mean, in very general ways, and you could say, but that's just bizarre. So Fraser McInnes is the brother of a really dear friend of mine, and I'd never heard that he was the birth father of the flat white, but yeah, I'll take that for the McInneses. Yeah.
All right, you
very
take
good,
that.
yeah.
Let Rowena know.
I'm so good. I'm going to get off this now on the call when I do it. I'm going to go, oh my
How
God,
funny is
random.
That is so random.
What about Farlap? We've got him in
Totally
the
ours.
museum here.
Totally ours. You've got him. I think his heart, isn't his heart somewhere else, or was it just really enormous?
He had an enormous heart.
Yeah.
I don't know which part we've got.
Because
Yeah. Big
he's
heart.
in the Melbourne Museum, and I'll never forget it because my son was 2, and he walked past Farlap and like, oh, we have to go. And he goes, good night, Farlap. Have a good sleep tonight.
Oh.
And we went,
Good night, Farlap. I'm never going to hear Farlap's name now without thinking of good night.
Oh.
good night, Farlap.
And I know there's been a long. I don't think it's ever been solved of actually who invented the pavlova.
Oh.
Was a New Zealander.
Who are you going to
Aussie.
have that? Fan.
Yeah, see, my husband hates
too
pavlova. So every
squishy.
time it comes out, he's just like, don't
I
want
want a proper
piece of
cake.
it.
I'll eat the strawberries off the top or the kiwi
Oh.
fruit.
I don't-
I don't mind a little
It's
meringue
like-
occasionally, but also just and I like cake. I love cake. Like you know that thing when you get the dessert menu and there's the brulee, there's the sticky date, there's the tiramisu. Like there's some stock standard things, and there are things I love and there are things I don't. And I'll never get the trio of sorbet.
No.
Boring.
What's a sorbet?
I like a
Yeah.
sorbet at an
I
ice
just
cream
like,
shop.
ugh. Ugh, why don't you just put some Raro and a refresh, whatever your powdered orange drink is there, and a ice cube maker. Blech. Blech to your sorbet. But yeah, cake all the way. That's right. That's completely unrelated, but that's my thought. Pavlova, schmavlova.
What's your favourite cake?
Oh, well, there's a few that I make in rotation. I make a really beautiful applesauce cake that my mum typed out the recipe when I was at university, and I still use her. Like, I always open up this little piece of paper from her typewriter. I love a carrot cake, but I make it much less because all that grating carrots are so boring. Even with a machine, then you have to clean the machine. Just not interested.
Yes.
I love beetroot cake, which I haven't made for a while, but I guess is the same thing because you still have to grate the beetroot. But a heavy, rich, chocolatey beetroot cake is very... And courgette cake. There's also the
Yes.
moistness that comes from the vegetables.
So you say courgette and we say
Oh,
zucchini.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Aubergine, eggplant, arugula, rocket.
Oh, do you say arugula there?
No, we say rocket.
Oh,
I just say
Maybe I also speak American. I speak American, Australian, New Zealandish.
cilantro.
Oh, yeah.
Do you say?
cilantro.
Yeah, for coriander.
Yeah. Nah, that's never going to get on.
That's a great.
We can be bonded on that.
So, Elisabeth, after all this, I just want to ask, can we claim you as our own? Can we have a piece of you?
I say, chop me in two. You guys can have this way, I think, rather than that.
Yeah.
way. 'Cause who's going to want my legs? From the waist down, she's
30
yours. But yes, no, I will happily be a trans Tasman. Yeah. It's beautiful. Can I just, when I'm in Melbourne, I'm coming over. We're going to have a flat white.
We're
Although
going to
I
have a flat white.
I like to
We're
have
going
a
to cheer
latte.
Fraser Mackiness.
Yeah, and I'm going to call Bro and say, hey, tell your bro that he is remembered, iconized.
No pavlova though.
No pavlova.
Cake.
Yes.
Go out.
We'll be there for
Hey.
that. Don't worry.
And I just would like to end our chat with a quote from Seed, because I think we think that friendship is very important. And the quote is, "To friendship and the most stable relationship I've ever had," from characters Maggie and Hillary. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming onto our podcast, and best of luck with the book. And you have been a hoot, and we'd love to actually meet you in person one day.
Yes.
I hope that happens. Thank you so much. And sorry about last week.
That's all right. We won't mention it to the listeners.
Nothing to see. Have a lovely rest of your days. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much,
See you
Elizabeth.
soon.
Bye, Elizabeth.
What
Bye. Oh my gosh, what a hoot.
Oh, how fun was this?
I know, Elizabeth, that was a great chat, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Just FYI, this book Seed is out in all bookstores now, so we've read it.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
We've loved it, and it's not only just about the fertility journeys of these women, it's about all the relationships in the mix there.
Absolutely. So please go out, find Seed by Elisabeth Easther.
Yeah, find Seed. Check her out on Instagram. I'll put a link in the show notes there, and we'll see you next time.
See you then.
Bye.